What's up, my cardistry fans and magicians? Today we're going to learn 3 ways to shoot a card off the top of the deck. Each of these ways is lesser known, so I wanted to create a video dedicated specifically to them, considering I don't really see them anywhere, and they're pretty useful, similar to Lennart Green's Top Shot, and the other method to shoot a card off the top, which I see all the time, where you actually bend the card with your pinky and shoot it off. These are more reliable and smoother looking methods. So grab a deck, let's get started. This is kind of an alternative to Lennart Green's Top Shot, where the card lands face up, and that's basically going to be the ending position for this. And a lot of the uses that you can use the Top Shot for, you can also use this shot. Now, a lot of you might already be able to do this shot just by watching the video and watching me do it once. It's not that hard, but for anybody still kind of struggling or not getting the card to shoot correctly, I'm going to give you a couple tips. Alright, so the first thing is, you start in mechanics grip. You're going to take your first finger and push the entire deck down just a little bit. You then take your thumb and push the top card up just a little bit, enough so your first finger can come up and grab it, and you'll see it's starting to bow. These fingers are the only thing holding it down. You just loosen them a little bit, it pops right up just like this. See, once you get it here, you're just going to keep dragging using the flush of your first finger so that card comes all the way around. So once you get to this position, this is where a lot of people mess up, because what they'll do is they'll hold it with the flesh of their finger like this. You don't want to do that. You just want to curl your finger just a little bit from here to here, so you're actually holding it with the fingernail. That'll reduce the amount of friction this guy feels. So all you're going to do at this point is kind of cock your hand back so it's perpendicular to you, meaning it's going at a 90 degree from where you're standing, and then you're going to shoot by bringing it almost 180 degrees. At the same time, you're just going to let go, like boom. And that's really all there is to it with this one. So I'll go over it one last time. You're just going to take your first finger, push the deck so it's lower in your hands, take your thumb, pull it down a little bit so you can push a card up just a little bit like this. First finger comes over, pulls on the card, and then continues till it's on the back. Make sure you're using your fingernail, cock back to about perpendicular, and then 180 degrees to catch. Alright, so the next one in the sequence is a little bit harder. It's kind of a replacement for the old pushing and using the pinky. If you don't want the noise, or you don't like how the card flies, this has a lot more control. But it is a little bit harder at first. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold it in straight mechanics grip, like this. You're going to squeeze these 3 fingers on the side so it pushes that corner into the flesh of your thumb like this. You're then going to take your thumb and just push that top card so it pivots on this corner. So that corner is actually lined up, whereas the other 3 corners are pushed off the side of the deck like this. Now, your first finger doesn't do much during all of this, but your middle finger is going to come up and either the corner or just right next to the corner pull down on the card like this. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, because your ring finger and your pinky are going to slide underneath the card, and all at the same time these fingers are going to extend while you move your hand in the motion you want your card to go. So I kind of go at this angle here. And the card, if you do it at one smooth motion, that was a little bad. If you do it at one smooth motion, the card will shoot out. So I will go through that whole process once more. Mechanics grip, squeeze with these 3 fingers, take your thumb, push it over, middle finger comes up, and you got this bend in the card. It should bend up like this. Alright. These 2 fingers come underneath the card, and what they're going to do is straighten. Alright, hard to do slow, so let me do it one more time, and those cards straighten so it shoots off. Alright, so this last move is actually one I created. It's easier to learn than the other one, but it is a little bit more unpredictable, and you'll see why. So what you're going to do with this one it's a little bit less crimpy of the hand, and it's all going to use your middle finger and your ring finger. And what you're going to do is you're going to push a card off. And you notice that bottom edge is off, the whole thing comes off a little bit, and you're going to come back on, and as you do, you're going to keep your middle finger and your ring finger underneath the card, kind of like a pinky break. Your middle finger comes up, and it's going to grab the card in this crisscross position with your index finger here. I'm sorry, your ring finger right here. Now what's going to happen, and I'll do it slow first, is you're going to basically put your middle finger and try to cross it in front of your ring finger like this. And what'll happen is the card can flip all the way over. Now if you don't do it real slow, what you can do is a speed one, and at the same time you do this, you extend your middle finger and you give your wrist a little bit of a motion. It'll spin off. Once you get used to it, it becomes a lot easier. It's a little weird motion at first, but it doesn't take very long to learn. And what I really like about it is it gives a nice stall in the air. It gives a lot of spins as opposed to the last one we just learned. It does give a lot of spins, but this has a very nice even spin, and you can control it depending on how your wrist is arced. So what I've noticed is if I might not be able to have the distance here, but it'll come out in a 7. So it'll come out and kind of come back. So it'll go out this way and come back a little bit. So again, to get this one done, you're going to push a card over, pull it back, and use these two fingers, almost like you're doing a pinky break. The ring finger stays under it, the middle finger comes on top. You might have to crimp your thumb to help you get this pinched between your middle finger and your ring finger. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your middle finger in front of your ring finger and do it kind of fast at the same time. You give a little bit of a motion in the direction you want the card to go. So if you do it as one motion, it should look like that. So there's just one more little thing I want to mention about this one before I move on to the extras on this video, and that is when you're doing this pinch and you're crossing your fingers, you'll notice this corner of the card is pushing against the deck. That is where the pressure for the spin is being built. So the more you can kind of use your middle finger, you'll be able to feel this, that you're kind of pushing against the deck, you're kind of fighting with the deck to turn this. You want that. The more pressure you have there, the more spins you'll get when it shoots off. So I just wanted to mention that is where the pressure is coming from, is that portion of the card, that corner of the card scraping against the deck there. So here's just a little bonus idea that you can use in conjunction. There's something that Lennart Green likes to do with his top shot, and what he'll do is he'll place a card face up on top of the deck, and he'll place a card face down right on top of that. And what you can do is a top shot, and both cards kind of look like they reveal themselves at the same time. With the quote-unquote top shot I just taught you, you can basically do the same thing, have the same setup, and you just do the move, and both those cards appear at the same time, just like this. So basically, you can just do the first top shot, just like that, and then do either or method to get the other card into your other hand. Alright, hopefully that gives you some new options that you haven't seen before, how to shoot some cards out of a deck. And if you did like this, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and that's pretty much it. I'll see you later.